Happy Monday.
I hope you had a great family day.
Today's family day. Happy family day
Technically, today is family day. Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, you're ruining the illusion
No,
again.
Jenna's just ahead of herself.
I'm way ahead of myself.
Oh, is that what it is?
But
I'm just excited to get the fuck out of Dodge.
It depends when you're listening to this, because you're right. Some people may be listening to it tomorrow, which would not be family day anymore. And so then we do hope you had a good family day. But if you're listening to this live when it drops on Blast the Radio, which you should be, happy family day.
Thank you, Jesse. The check's in the mail.
I have a bit of a beef with family day. I don't think it should be in February.
Because it's a shit month.
Right, but what are you going to do with your fucking family this weekend? It's damn ass cold.
And we just saw them a month ago for Christmas. Like,
right.
Jesus Christ.
How much family do you want us to have?
Right after Valentine's Day,
family
too.
time.
It's a day to recover from getting together with my family and celebrating my birthday.
Yeah, happy
okay.
birthday,
That's what
John.
it is. Oh, I wasn't fishing at all.
How was your birthday yesterday?
Fantastic.
Yeah, 1 year older. Do you feel it? Don't answer that.
Really don't.
You know, Family Day is cool because it sticks it to the government workers who think they're so cool.
Right?
My sister cries about it every year. It's not fair. I'm like, it's fucking fair. You
Oh,
guys
it's
get
not.
Remembrance Day. You get Civic Holiday. You
Sick
get everything.
days that they can bank.
Oh, up the wazoo.
Are we done?
I guess so.
Oh, no.
Happy Family
I
Day.
can go on forever on that one.
We're kind of like a dysfunctional family here, the three of us.
Kind of. We are a dysfunctional
By the
family.
way, I think it's so cute that the two of you are both wearing the same color of like purple today.
Oh,
It
speaking
happens
of
all the
family,
time.
I missed the memo on that.
We've synced.
We do not ever plan our outfits out, but he
No.
always shows up and I'm already wearing the same color as he is.
Yeah. I have a hidden cam in your apartment.
Ooh. Oh,
She's
if you make
into
any,
it. She's
if
into
you
it.
make any money off of it, you know.
Split it.
Because that makes
20%.
sense. When I think of all the people who Jesse would want to put a video cam
right.
on, Jenna.
Well,
yeah.
actually,
Watching me walk around in my like
I don't know.
sushi nightie with
I'd
my
watch
hair all gross.
I'd get to see her talking to herself. I'd get to see her sleep eat. I'd get to see her attack mattresses with samurai swords.
I haven't slept at I haven't slept at
Slept eight?
eat.
Slept eight?
I haven't done it in a while.
Because you're too
I
tired.
haven't been drinking. That's
oh,
probably
that's
why.
right. Yeah.
Speaking of drinking, what is today's wine?
It's
Quattro Ventos. Jesse got it for $8 guaranteed.
This is, both of you don't even know, it's 13.5%. This is the most important thing. Here's the description on it. Wait, I can't.
It was fruity and
Fruity and full of character.
just like Jesse.
It's a delicious wine.
Right.
Nice.
Okay, so
Nice-
here's
it's
the
a nice little
letter.
bottle. I like it.
So here's the letter we got from Jesse and Jenna's Messy Podcast at gmail.com.
Hey, that's not the only email we got. We're also up for a new award we found out.
And what is it called? Canada's Choice Award.
Canada's Choice Award. Canadian Choice Awards.
Right. So keep an eye on our socials and we'll tell you how to vote once we figure it out.
The best part about this nomination is that neither of us or John submitted it.
Right.
We don't know who did.
So one
thank
of our
you.
amazing listeners submitted it.
Let us know if it was you. We'd like
But
to thank you.
is there a party where you guys can go and get like completely wrecked?
We wouldn't
That's
do
right
that.
now,
What are you
John.
talking
I know,
about?
but I'm just asking if there is. I'm not suggesting you would.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never done that.
So this letter Jesse hasn't seen. I told him not to look at it because
Right.
I thought this is something that for once you can be the expert on.
Ooh. She doesn't
Oh.
say that often.
For once, Jesse will be the expert on.
Is it on Botox?
No.
Come to our Botox
It's on
party.
sexuality.
Okay.
All right. Hey, J&J. There's a person I like who likes me back, who I would like to get into something with.
Okay.
Did you get that?
Got
Sorry,
it.
I didn't do the best job.
They have
of
a
reading.
crush.
Right.
Okay.
The problem is that they're not my usual kind of person at all, by which I mean I have pretty much only ever liked girls, and he's a guy. So that's new.
And this is a male writer, I'm assuming.
Yes. I have basically zero idea how to handle any of this. I don't really feel gay, and then puts in quotations, how does gay feel? I still notice
Fabulous.
girls. I have no idea how the sex would possibly work, and I haven't had any gay experiences, so what if I'm terrible at it? But I feel a lot of things for him, and one of them is very definitely in my pants. Here's my question, I
Oh
guess.
my God.
Would it be awful of me to date him or sleep with him or hang out with him, but just kind of not talk about it until I'm sure that this is really a thing? I just kind of don't want to do the whole dramatic coming out if it turns out to be an idea and not really a relationship. What if this turns out to be just a fluke? I'm 22 and I've never been into guys ever, though I have dated a couple girls seriously and also had some hookups. Is it weird at my age to suddenly get into this guy? Thanks, T.
At my age.
22.
I was in love with him until he said, I
22.
am my age.
I remember making a bet with this guy, one of my guy friends at 22, being like, if I'm 30 and still single,
Oh,
we're
Christ.
getting married.
Yeah.
That's how old you think you are at 22.
It's like that meme I sent you. I'm 35 and I have my whole life ahead of me. And then a sports announcer's like, here comes the oldest player in the league. He's 31. A miracle.
So basically, this letter is this guy who's confused about his sexuality because for the first time ever, he's attracted to a man.
I think he is adorable, and I would like to volunteer as tribute. Please. I will help you sort it out. Last week's Will and Grace episode dealt with this exact
Really?
situation.
Oh, really?
Yes, where a guy on an airplane came out to Jack, basically with this letter, and Jack said the same thing as me. I'm happy to help you. But I think it's so cute. And no, at 22, that is right on the money of the age when you're supposed
That's
to
when you
start
should be
figuring.
experimenting.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
How do
Figuring your
you
stuff
know
out.
what your sexuality is? Like, when did you know that you were 100% gay?
Well, men have a very clear indicator, like this writer said. It's in his pants.
Right.
But what I always knew. See, I'm on the extreme end of the spectrum, so you can't really compare me because I think a lot of men are somewhere on the Kinsey scale, but I am like so gay it hurts. So like I've known my entire life. There's never a conscious memory I have where I didn't know I was gay.
Right.
Which is not the norm. A lot of people are confused about it or like, unsure. Maybe he's bi.
Do you think that people even need to put a label on themselves these days?
No, well, that's a very interesting point.
And at 22, you've mentioned this before about how younger people are no longer even
Yes.
labeling themselves sexually.
Men in particular, because finally, I think men are starting to accept the thing that women have known for years, which is love can be fluid. And, just because you kiss a girl at a party drunk doesn't mean you're going to marry a woman, and the same thing can apply to men. Just because you kiss another guy at a party doesn't mean you have to be gay and get pink boas and, put rainbows everywhere.
You've also heard of these situations where a woman's married to a man for years and then they end the marriage and end up with a woman. Does it mean they're necessarily gay?
Well,
Does it even mean they're necessarily bisexual?
Or like people can change.
Right.
A lot of people argue with that and say that no, like it's just you were repressing it for many years. But like former NFLer Mark Hatfield, he's very open about this story. His marriage broke up because his wife decided she was gay, and they're still best friends. They have 3 beautiful children.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere along the line, she wasn't gay to have 3 children. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And he's hot.
And
too.
he's so hot. Now I'm
He got distracted.
He's such a dreamboat. So it's like, there's the thing. I don't know. Was she always a lesbian?
I watched a video this week from ITV out of England. It's a morning show duo, and he, I guess, has been married for quite a number of years.
Philip? Was it Philip?
Yes.
Yes, Philip Seymour.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour. I don't know his last name. Philip, though. The British guy with the white hair.
Yeah.
Love him.
Great guy, great show, and he just came out on the show. He'd had a long conversation with his wife, and I guess his daughters are both adults now, well into their 20s.
I didn't know he was married. I thought he was gay all from the beginning.
Well,
oh my God.
Your gaydar would have picked that
guess
up.
so.
But so that's been a long conversation in their family and how they're going to deal with that. And he finally went public with it on TV last week, and
Good for
amazing.
him.
So I mean, he's lived with this all his life. Look, I'm going to say this as someone. You're 22. I'm going to say this as someone who just turned 51.
Yeah.
If it feels good, do it. Just,
Yeah.
So what?
That is a good point.
Just live your life.
These labels have to be erased. Like, we don't
Well, I think
need
it's
to.
what's a barrier between us doing what we think we should do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, by trying to put a label on yourself, am I gay? Am I not? Why don't you just do what you think is going to make you happy?
There's an excitement level there.
And yeah, right. And
You follow your heart.
why not explore that? It doesn't take away from anything else you're doing.
No.
I'll equate it to acting because it's the first thing that popped into my head. Just because you're known as a funny person or a comedian doesn't mean you can never do a serious
Right.
role. It's the same thing with sex. I would love to be able to be attracted to a woman, to hook up, to say I could do that and make my mom happy for
Sure.
once. But I'm not. And so like you can't force it. But if I was, I would do it.
Do you think that just because he has feelings for another man that makes him gay?
No.
No.
Makes him human.
Because I think that's what's keeping him back from following his heart.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like he's thinking more with his heart than his pants. Because right off the bat, he's like, there's a person I like who likes me back.
Yeah, this is upsetting for me as a gay person because there is this stigma that comes with the word gay, which I even was guilty of subscribing to when I was a kid. I was like, even when I knew I liked guys, I was like, I like boys, but I'm not gay because being gay makes you like Richard Simmons, or even though I am like Richard Simmons. You get what I'm saying? I didn't want to be when I was a kid. So it's like you put these negative stereotypes on the word. So you're like, yeah, I can hook up with boys, but I'm not gay because gay means you're like Richard Simmons. You're obsessed with Cher. You wear pink tight shirts all the time, all of which I do. But you know what I mean? I'm making a bad argument, but I think maybe this guy as a straight person is kind of in that headspace where he thinks, well, I'm not this, so how could I be gay? I'm not obsessed with RuPaul.
Right. Do you think people can be both straight and gay? Or just, I guess that would be pansexual.
Or
right?
even bisexual.
Do you think that having all these different labels for people and their different sexual preferences is actually doing more harm than good?
I'm so tired of labels.
Oh, yeah, well.
But as someone who lives in the community where there's a lot of labels, there's always a different, sexual orientation coming out every week. Do you think that's doing more harm than good for the community?
Well, I think that we need to draw the line because we're almost becoming the land of misfit toys where every sexual deviant is allowed in the LGBT LMNOP. So, yeah, I don't know. Because each letter, I was talking with this Alana Poulsen, is that each letter actually is its own community.
Right.
The lesbians are their own, the gays are their own, the trans are their own. So why do we have to lump together? Shouldn't we be all the letters our own communities?
Right. Or are we just not who we are?
Or just who we are. But I think society, like mainstream hetero society, can't handle that. So any sexual abnormality is lumped into this rainbow umbrella. But it's a start.
So I think a good thing that you could advise on is when you were discovering your sexuality, how did you go about actually making sure 100% that you were feeling the way you felt? Because he sounds so uneasy about it.
It sounds like he's resisting it because he always wants to be straight. That's what his dad wants. That's the normal thing to do.
Or his mom, or
yeah, but
and his church, I bet.
Sure, and it's just not maybe what he wants for his life. But it doesn't mean you can't. Okay. I have a friend named Emily. She's got a theory that all men want to try the D because they have one. And you jerk off, you watch other guys on porn, you play with your own. So how much can you really be turned off by penises? So she's got a theory that all men want to try the D. I don't know if I agree with that, but I do think that more men are open to trying it with another guy because there's not that shame that there once was.
I think I'd be willing to say that most men are at least curious. What would that be like?
Right.
How about this? Let's do a role reversal, Jesse. What if you were this writer and all of a sudden you're like, I've been gay my whole life. I've only dated men.
Yes.
I am having feelings for Jenna because she's so hot, and every time I'm around her, my pants get a bit tight.
The hair does look good today. The hair does look good.
But how would you go about that?
I would pursue it. I mean,
would you?
It's a whole other thing to know if you'd be interested back.
You out of, and I love you to death, but you do care a lot about your image. So even with your image, like not being the gay.
Oh, no. I mean, if you're talking about me, I think that would help. Oh, my God. Could you imagine the headlines? Maybe we should try.
But, if you were to advise this person, like, explore it, don't explore it.
I think explore
what
it.
Do you do?
Well, one of his questions was, do I need to write it on the wall or whatever? He said, no.
Right.
You don't have to tell anybody anything.
Even if you end up having a relationship with this person and then later on break up and have a relationship, you never have to label yourself.
I know.
That's what society does to you.
Yes.
They force you to do that. Even within the LGBT community, they sometimes force you to label yourself.
It's true. Yep. I know a couple straight guys. I was going to say a few. It's only two. But they're like legitimate pervert pigs and they'll sleep with anything. Right. Man, woman, whatever. But they're two of the like most happiest guys because they don't give a shit what people think. They don't label themselves. They're just horny bastards.
So
and
you're
that's
advising
okay.
our writer to say just fuck politeness and fuck everybody and just do what you want.
And don't label yourself. You don't have to choose a label. No, you do not.
Right.
And right now it sounds like he identifies as a straight man, which is absolutely fine. Yep. There's no reason that a straight man can't have a little side something.
Right.
Even if I were to hook up with you on a drunken mushroom-fueled night, I would still be gay. But why can't you have a little side moment? You know what I mean? It doesn't change your sexuality, I don't think.
And I think your sexuality is very personal to you. You choose what your sexuality is.
How many women, right, like I was saying earlier, have made out on a dare at a party? Are you all of a sudden a lesbian now? No.
Let's put dare on quotes, too, right? On
yeah.
a dare. They've been curious. And for whatever reason, that seems to be a thing in society where women have that freedom to actually explore that.
Yeah.
On a dare, quote unquote.
But you know what? Men had it too. If you look back a million years ago in like Caesar time or whatever, men, like the powerful men would have little bitch boys that would suck their dick and like do stuff like this. And it was totally okay for emperors to have sex slaves and stuff. But I don't know when it came, this homophobia came from somewhere. I don't know, Christian uprising or whatever, but something happened where all of a sudden...
the Bible says it's wrong.
Well, oh my God, you just reminded me of something. I went to an Winter Pride event. They had Indigenous speakers talking about what it means to be two-spirit,
right?
Which is essentially the Indigenous version of being transgender. But their whole legend, because, you know, don't you love that about Indigenous culture? Is the
growing up on the West Coast, we heard them all, and I loved it. Every totem pole tells a story with all the animals down it. I love it.
So cool. But they were explaining the legend or whatever about being two-spirit is that everybody's born with a male and female spirit, and people, if you grow up and you turn gay, if you're a man, it means that the female spirit took over, but your outer shell is still a boy. So that's how they justify homosexuality. But it was never a problem. It's okay. It's accepted. It just means that's the dominant spirit in your soul. And I'm like, wow, how's it cool that they explain it, but they never had a problem with it. So it's the white man. Damn it. Fuck the white man. We ruined everything.
Literally or figuratively?
Both.
You know what, though? I think we need to make it clear that it's okay for you at any age to question your own sexuality and to explore it.
Yeah.
You know, I've told you many times where I've thought about, am I a lesbian? You know, just because I'm single for so long, like maybe I am doing things wrong, but I cannot put myself in my mind. No. I don't get the reaction in my pants.
Yeah, no.
You know?
No, that's how you know.
So don't be afraid. And I think, you know, he sounds like maybe him questioning his sexuality, period, is traumatizing to him. But this is okay. And I think you're going to question your sexuality throughout your whole life.
I think he's more questioning his upbringing.
What do you mean?
That he was brought up that, you know, men are with women and, you know,
wow.
That's my suspicion.
Whether you've been raised conservative or not, if you were to wake up, if I was to wake up one morning and all of a sudden be sexually and mentally attracted to a woman, I would be confused.
Well, it's confusing.
And I am not from a conservative family by any means.
Well, and it's important to note, John, he didn't say that he thinks it's wrong.
He's
just unsure.
He's unsure because he goes, I've never thought this way about a man.
Yeah.
Listen, at 22, you're going to have a long life ahead of you where there's going to be all kinds of things that come along that surprise you that you never anticipated or thought about that suddenly are intriguing, and you're going to wonder, you know, just if it feels good, do it. It all falls back to that for me.
There's this culture where you have to proclaim your sexuality, and if you don't, you're a shitty gay, you're a shitty straight person, you're a shitty bisexual person. But no, there is no rules. You don't have to proclaim your sexuality to anybody.
No, you don't. Especially, and you don't have to. I feel like, he feels like he's going to out himself if he hooks up with this guy, or like everyone's going to sort of all of a sudden know. No, they won't, you know.
Well, and it was like in high school, too, when you had a secret and everyone found out and you thought it was going to be the end of the world. And you know what? It wasn't.
No.
At the end of the day.
No, it turns out you empowered other people to find
like
themselves.
Jimmy finger banged Jenna at the back of the gym after this class. And you thought, oh, my God, if everyone finds out, I'm going to be the biggest slut in the world. This never happened to me. I wish it did, but it never did. But you know what I mean? Everyone's going to think I'm such a slut. Well, you know, fast forward how many years? No one gives a shit.
No, it's true. Yeah, high school. Well, I was going to say.
Finger banging is such a horrible word, too. Sorry.
But it's fun.
Finger banging. It's just so gross.
Jimmy. I see everyone go, oh, so she's still in touch with producer Jimmy from their old show. Gross.
No. That wasn't it at all. But, you know, I think that it's okay to take your time to figure out your own shit. And in order to figure out your own sexuality, you are going to have to try things that you normally wouldn't.
I think this writer is looking for us to tell him it's okay.
It is okay.
It's okay.
It is so okay.
100%.
It's more than okay.
And
Do
you
it.
know what? At the end of the day, even if you do discover, yes, I do have feelings with a man or for a man, and I want to carry on this relationship.
Awesome.
You are going to maybe lose a few friends or ruffle a
Hopefully
few
not,
others.
but then they were good people anyway.
However, at the same time, you're going to meet so many other people that are so supportive of you, Jesse and I being one of those.
Yes.
You lose friends over the silliest things.
We want everyone to get their dick wet, all right?
Yeah.
And again, I volunteer as tribute. Well, let me see a photo. Send a photo to the email address.
I don't think you could handle a man who is questioning
What?
his sexuality.
The one that wants a human centipede us is
Clearly, if he's saying that, he's not questioning his sexuality.
he's
He
one of the
fully
two.
knows.
He's one of the two I mentioned. That's
But
just a pig.
if you went on a date with a guy and he was like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never been with a man. I just, for some reason, am attracted to you. I think you would get awkward and weird because you, as a
Well, it's a lot of
gold
pressure.
star gay,
Yeah.
wouldn't know how to handle that.
You're right. It's a lot of pressure.
And maybe it would also bring you back to when you were discovering your sexuality.
Yeah, but it was never a question for me. I tried to fight it and like jerk off to Pamela Anderson. I told you this before, but like I always knew.
When did you, at what age did you know
I'm
your
telling
sexuality?
you. Well, this first you learn this word.
was it Devin
gay.
Sawa that did it for you?
No, it was early. I'm telling you, I was like 5 years old. This show, Join In. I think it was an Ontario show, but it was a kid show named Join In, and there was a character on it named Zach, and he was an
It's
actor.
always those Zachs, eh?
And he was so cute to me. We should Google him and put up a picture.
Yeah.
So he was the one, and I at the time, because you're not sexual at 5 or 6, I
Right.
thought I just wanted to be him.
Right.
So my mom and sister will tell you I was obsessed. Everything was Zach, Zach, Zach. But looking back, I can identify that was a crush. Right now that I've developed, I think.
Here, show the
Yeah,
camera.
yeah.
We'll be the judge.
I don't have
Google
much
that.
hair, but you know. So yeah, I've always known, but I like you said, I'm a gold star. I think I'm the minority.
And to this, what was it? T? He signed his name T, I think. Anyways, thank you so much for feeling safe enough to email
yeah.
us. Because,
Yes.
you know, we've spent a lot of time working together. And I think one of the most memorable times we've ever spent together was the fact that we could make an impact on people when it comes to situations like this.
For sure.
One time, Jesse shared his coming out story on air, and we had this lovely military man whose son heard it and decided it was now okay for him to come out. Those are the things that, so thank you for.
That's the best,
Oh,
right?
that was so amazing.
Well, and
That's the
thank you
best.
for trusting us with your story.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought you were going to say the most memorable thing we ever did was that sangria judging festival in the market.
I
But
don't remember that
Then you did it right.
though. Yeah, I did. But you know what? Be true to yourself, follow your feelings,
and live your life.
and live your life.
Yes.
And you know what? It's nobody's business but your own. And, you know, next week we're going to get a letter from him being like, well, now he's asking me to define my sexuality.
Yeah, well, then we'll cross that bridge when we get that letter.
Right.
But I'm at I don't know whether it's being in my 30s now, but I'm at a thing where, oh my God, this ride isn't going to last forever on this planet. So
Right.
why not take advantage and have experiences and do
and
these
be with
things?
the person that you love.
Yeah, or just even get your dick
Or
wet so you
enjoy.
can say
Yeah,
you did it.
right.
This is why I keep trying to convince Jesse to move in with me so that
Oh,
we
God.
can
Yeah,
live
that's-
our lives with the people
okay.
we love.
Oh, sure, because that's going to help our dating situation.
Maybe it will.
Then we'll be this
we
letter.
can trade halfway through the night. Well, I can trade.
I think that'd be a great setup.
I can trade with you.
We just need to get a bisexual sugar daddy, and whichever night he's feeling a little lady pond, man pond, whatever you want.
Want
We
the V
dress
or the
alike
P?
already.
The V
Yes,
and the
you
P.
do.
Yeah.
All right, send your letters, please. We'll try and give you the best advice or just our
Well, we'll
opinion.
just talk about your letter.
We'll talk about it. I do think we do help people at the end of the day, though.
I think, well, it helps to hear other people's weigh in. Like this guy, like I think he knows the answer already.
Yes.
He just wants to hear people say it's okay and we won't judge you and you've still got a friend in us.
Go,
I
go find
find-
your happy.
I
Yeah.
find, too, with a lot of men, they want a yes or no answer.
The answer is
Yes,
yes.
or
Yes.
no. Yes or no. I don't think
It's a
you-
yes from me.
This is not a situation where you have a yes or no. This is something that you need to like dig deep down into yourself
Yeah.
and figure out what your answer is. And maybe it's not black or white. Maybe it's gray, purple, pink, orange, all of the different colors.
Well, if it's pink, it's healthy. So let's go with that.
What?
I'm thinking like buttholes and vaginas are pink. All
Okay.
right, time to go.
You stop talking about vaginas like you know what they look like.
I've seen pictures. I told you I've jerked it to Pamela Anderson and lesbian porn.
Oh my gosh. No, you haven't. You tried.
I got there, but it was painful.
You got there after you turned the volume down and closed your eyes.
Yeah.
All right. Or maybe
Cheers.
turned on Ricky Martin's Shake It Bum Bum, Shake It Bum Bum.
That was one of the hottest coming outs when he finally announced he was gay.
I'm
Wow.
still sad about that one.
Oh, he's a dream.
He is such a babe.
Cheers.
We still got Enrique Iglesias.